I've been with James, my husband, now for, in September it was 4 years. And still, like, in the early days, boy, did I have to practice my vulnerability with him, and boy, was it often awkward before it was elegant. And I had such a depth of relationship with myself. I really, really trusted myself, and I trusted my feelings. I trusted my intuition. And that was beautiful. I had that very solid relationship with myself, but what I'd not yet practiced was fully vulnerably sharing that with somebody else and feeling safe to do so. So in the early days with James, like, that felt quite scary, and yet he was such my vibrational match that there was something about him that had me feel safe to practice with him. And the first few times, it was the way he responded to my vulnerability that had me see it was going to be very safe to be vulnerable with him. It was very safe to not get it absolutely perfect with him. That he was strong enough and man enough to hold space for me and my femininity and all of my emotions and all my worries and all my fears and so on. The difference is I was showing up as an empowered woman, not a woman that had a ton of work to do and heal. Like my previous relationships, you know, I hadn't done the work when I was in those previous relationships. When I came to James, I'd done the work, I was in the work, I'm still in the work. And so I wasn't like just vomiting verbal diarrhea of all my past pain and hurt that I hadn't addressed and begun to heal or healed. I was speaking from my truth and from a particularly healed place, but even those pieces that weren't healed yet, that were still like open wounds and I was still very delicate with, I was able to feel safe to talk to him about it, and he just proved to me again and again in the early days that it was safe to do that. And I'd called in my vibrational match. I had called in an empowered man. I'd done the work to become the empowered woman. It still didn't mean that those early conversations were particularly easy, and even now, 4 years on, there's certain things that come up and I really have to sit with something for a while before I can verbalize it. You know, I'm not someone that can like come up with the words straight away all the time. Like, I might be able to do it fairly well on lives like this, but I can assure you in my personal life, like, I have to sit with my journal. I have to make a lot of notes. I have to really work things through. I have to feel my feelings. I have to express my feelings in private. I have to really bring myself to a place of empowerment where I'm really connected to who I am and what I feel and what I need, before I can then go and vulnerably ask for what I need or ask for the support or say how I feel. It doesn't come like that to me still, but I know my process, and so I support myself with my process, and then I'll go to him with my vulnerability. And quite often I will say to him, just so you know, I've got something to share with you. I don't quite know how it's going to sound or how the words are going to come out, but I'm going to do my best. I've been working through this thing for a couple of days and I want to try and communicate it to you, so just kind of bear with me. And he's like, okay, you know, he just holds the space. So yeah, again, it's not about being perfect.